Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Tottenham's going to do it again. All right, Simon. Shalom.
Evening. Shalom.
Well, I'm still buzzing after last night, mate, to be honest with you. And I'm already nervous before the Man United game, even though it's 11 days away. Surely this time they can do it. Right, let's crack on. Well, what a performance from Tottenham Hotspur in Norway last night. They've reached the Europa League final after beating Bodo Glimt 2-1 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate. They've also become the first team in 2025 to stop the Norwegians from scoring. And to be honest, they didn't look like scoring against a well-organised Spurs defence. Spurs were comfortable throughout, producing a very professional performance, facing a cold, wet night on a plastic pitch which more resembled a badly fitted carpet, which actually had ripples in some parts of it. Tottenham are expected to slip up, even by many of their own fans. But Big Ange got his tactics spot on, forcing most of Bodo's attacks to be played in front of the Spurs defence, and Vicario was rarely troubled in the Spurs goal. The whole defence were well up for the fight. Porro and Mamero both outstanding, and Rodrigo Bentancur in the number 6 role equally as good. He was everywhere, all over the pitch, making tackles, pressing, intercepting passes, covering so much ground. The 2 goals scored in the second half were totally different kinds of goals. The first from a tail corner, he only just come on. He went to the far stick where Marrero rose majestically to knock the ball down into the Sid Giles box. Dominic Solanke was the first to react, poking the ball home. That was his 100th career goal, and what a time to get it. Just 7 minutes later, Pedro Porro was marauding down the right-hand side and looked to whip over a cross, but the ball flew into the net off the far stick. 2-0, and Spurs have cemented their place into the final, where they will face Manchester United. After a season of much misery and countless injuries, this season could end up becoming hugely successful if they can lift the trophy. Simon, what did you think of last night, my friend?
I mean, I'll be honest, I was nervous going into it. It's been a painful season to watch these boys, and they've had a lot of opportunities to do good things this season, and they pretty much let us down every time. So you kind of go into the game with that in mind, and then you see all the stats about what Bodo Glimt have been doing to teams when they get them back to their own backyard, and it's like we always score 2, and you just think, oh God, what's going to happen? And it's like we're going into the Arctic Circle, and you're like, what are the conditions going to be? And it was pretty English, the conditions over there. And the game got underway, and I was just like,
yeah,
you all look pretty comfortable. And it always builds confidence when you've got that back 5 there. I mean, even Vicario behind those 4 starts to look more confident, and he's kind of less flappy. But having Van de Ven and Romero in the middle is different. And I thought Bentancur started to look somewhere near like his best yesterday. He was everywhere. And I mean, we still have the same frailty, don't really offer a lot of threat up front. But the key objective yesterday was keep a clean sheet. You keep a clean sheet, you're through. Job done. And they did that, and they didn't really look in trouble at any point. So, yeah, I'll say job well done. It wasn't exciting. I got to half time, and I was just like, if the second half is as crap as the first half, I'll take it.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
But we seemed to just turn the screw on them a little bit. And the more they came at us, the more gaps they left in behind. And yeah, job well done.
Well, as I said just before we went live then, I'll say it for the other people watching later on, the back 5, when they played together, win Bentancur, won 19, drawn 2, lost 3, with a win rate of 79%. I suppose that backs up Ange's statements when he said, look, if we hadn't have had the injuries, we wouldn't have had such a bad season. And you can sort of see where they come from. But I have the argument where a lot of the Ange lovers saying that we are better when Ange changes tactics and defends deep. He did do that last night, but most of the time we're forced back and we win. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that in the final they do push us back, Man United. We just seem so much better when we don't play the eye line, don't we?
I think the high line is a bit bonkers, but you're always more confident doing it with Mickey there, knowing that there's no one that he can't catch. But I think that again, Solanke did his usual and led the press from the front, and he was solid. There's like a cut. It's still Richarlison. You can see he was trying, but he just doesn't seem to have enough. And Decky, I don't really remember much he did.
That was my only negative out of the night was Kulu, to be honest.
Yeah, but I thought Basuma had a solid game.
Yeah,
and he got around the pitch well, broke things up well. So I think that he played better than he has done recently. Bentancur was solid. Solanke led the press from the front, and it felt like when we swapped Richie for Tell, it felt like there was a bit more of a threat. And Tell's corner was the best corner of the match. Straight to Romero. Romero knocks it down, goal. And for all of Porro's great crossing, like in open play, his corners were pretty.
He seemed to struggle, didn't he? Well, if you see on that side where Tell took his corner, because he was getting moaned at by the ref to hurry up, but it's because he was trying to move the ball about from those ribs. It was mental, wasn't it?
Trying to get it between the lumps in the carpet.
It really was like a carpet. Do you go along with me then? Because I was saying on the thing last night that for the final, I would actually play Tell and Odebear. I would start them because it's a bit concerning that we're looking a bit poor up front. As I said, I don't want to do a negative because we're through. I'm just thinking ahead now.
I would definitely start Tell over Richie.
Yeah.
But I probably would still start Brennan against United.
And bring Odebear on later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because, again, he didn't do much last night, did he, old Johnson?
No. I kind of feel like he's got the right experience to play against United, and he has done well against them in the past.
Well, he nearly scored at the back stick again last night, didn't he? He was just about to knock it home, and the defender cleared it. So he does have a habit of he's our top goal scorer, and I think 90% of them have come from that position, ain't they? You know what I mean?
What I will say is it's the most pleased I've been with this team after a performance this season that they did exactly what they needed to do. They didn't need to do anything flash, and they didn't need to go and win 5-0. They could have walked away with a 0-0 and been comfortable enough, but they were still always pushing, still trying to pick them off, and they did.
It was a professional performance, wasn't it? As I said to you, I just sat there. I wasn't worried at all. I really wasn't. They let Bodo Glimt have the ball, but they couldn't get round the sides of us a lot. It was all played in front. I thought Romero was brilliant last night. I don't know if it's because he was captain, but him and Porro were chest pumping each other. They was well up for the fight, weren't they?
The number of times Mickey got forward with the ball and he was like in and around their area, it was mental. But I love it because when he does that whole box to box thing, he's unstoppable.
And there was only one time when he had to run back. I think that was in the first half when he had to sprint back, and I was thinking, oh no. I hate it now, especially on that pitch when he had to do that sprint back and he got the ball.
You kind of think, oh God, is the hammy going to go?
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah. So how can Spurs win it? And how do they approach the game against Manchester United? And will Ange tweak his tactics or?
I think that the key part is we have to have that back. I'm going to call it 6 now.
Yeah.
And if we have that back 6 and build off of that and try and pick them off, press from the front, I don't know what threat they've got that's going to be able to get through that back 6.
Yeah, let's hope they remain fit. They're a funny team, aren't they?
It was interesting because before the ties, I was thinking, I reckon that Bilbao are going to give them a really good game. And they just didn't show up at all in either leg. Other than like the one goal they scored, which was like a pot shot from like 35 yards out. That
was a good goal.
They didn't really pose much threat at all. But I love it. They won 7-1 and they fit. You listen to Man United fans last night and they're like, this is done.
They haven't lost in the Europa League at all this year yet.
No.
Even in the league phase.
they, as far as they're concerned, it's a foregone conclusion, and I hope they go into the game feeling that cocky.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we go into the game
because that'll be their undoing, being overconfident with it.
I'm hoping that the squad themselves, they know they've had such a crap season and they have had injuries. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it is a reason. There's a difference between an excuse and a reason. I mean, sometimes they've had like 14 players out. It's been mental, isn't it? This, for whatever reason, they've had the injuries. And I'm just hoping that they want this so bad to turn an absolutely disastrous season into a good one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we're 16th now. We're probably going to finish 17th. So it's just like, it's it. We've got one game left this season.
I would say, and if that happens, we can say we deserve to be in the Champions League because we've won a cup and we finished 4th.
But yeah,
if they win it, right? First of all, I'll say, will Romero stay? That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is like the numbers that they're talking about,
they're not big.
Like, no. Like when people were talking about Real Madrid, they were talking about 100 mil. Now they're talking about half that, less than half that.
I can't see Levy having it, to be honest.
And Levy, I can't see Levy going for him, letting him go for anything less than 60, 65.
Yeah.
And look, if you get like 65 plus for him, you probably have to take the money.
Yeah, because if a player wants to go, he wants to go, doesn't he? But when you see him play like that and his attitude, you want him to stay.
Yeah.
Whereas the other week I was thinking, oh, we wouldn't miss him. We got Danzo, but that was the proper Romero, what I expected us to sign.
And look, he like Conte came out and said it, but Romero thinks the same. It's just like, if you don't invest in this squad, then what's the point?
Well, he did call out Levy, didn't he, halfway through the season? He subsequently missed a few games, which was a bit suspicious, weren't it? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait.
You kind of felt like, oh crap, he's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he was right.
But he's come back and he's putting the performances in.
Yeah.
You can't fault him.
A bigger question, Simon, for you is, if they win it, should Ange be given another go, even if it's just for 10, 15 games the next season?
So this is the thing. If you'd have asked me this 2 weeks ago, maybe even 1 week ago, I said no.
Yeah.
It's too far gone. And you know what I've been like all season is like up to Christmas and all the Ange out noise was coming, and I was like, no, definitely not Ange out. I think it was about Easter where it started to turn for me, and I was just like, the players are coming back and nothing is changing. But you can see that when you get that back, the defensive group together, match fit, we look like a different team.
Yeah.
And even when we're playing crap, like we played crap against West Ham and managed to get a result out that way, which if we'd have played them 2 weeks earlier, we'd have probably got turned over 2 or 3-1.
Did you see the video they showed of Ange in the dressing room after?
No.
There's a video going around, and they had him talking to the squad after, and it looked to me like they're fully behind him.
It seems that way. It seems that way.
But is it down to the players must still have the faith then and saying, look, it's not our fault? They won't come out and say it, will they? Because you're not allowed to say them sort of things anymore. But they must all feel that it is because of the injuries.
Yeah, and it's injuries, but it's also 2 or 3 windows of bad recruitment.
Yeah.
And all the noises sound like Paratici's coming back.
Yeah, I've heard that tonight again. Yeah.
And if Paratici can get, because this is the thing. The reason why I was like resigned to look, we can't do this anymore. We can't get. We're probably 5, 6, 7 players away from Ange having what he needs to do it the way he wants to do it. And I was just like, the way the recruitment's going, it's not going to happen.
No.
We're not going to get the right players. We'll probably get 2 or 3 young uns built for the future, try and make a profit out of them. in like 3, 4, 5 years' time, and maybe get one person who is going to improve to first team.
Yeah.
But I feel like Paratici can probably get the players that Ange needs for the price that Levy needs, and I think that's the thing that is. It was always, when I was looking at it 2 weeks, a month ago, I was just thinking, I don't see any way that even if we did win the Europa, that Ange is going to have the players that he wants or needs to do it his way next season. And everyone's like, oh, well, Ange Ball's been found out. And it's more, I think our squad's been found out.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, you don't even know. It wouldn't surprise me if he won it, Simon, and said bon voyage.
Yeah. It's like...
surprise me at all.
It's like, there you go. There's my second season trophy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the memories, but you've been a bunch of twats.
Yeah. But talking about Paratici, even though I'm well happy that he's coming back, so it seems, he didn't want Ange Postecoglue there.
Did he not?
No. That's what everyone's saying. So he might say, I'll come back, because apparently he will have the final say on the manager. So that could cause, it's going to be a very interesting summer, I feel.
Yeah.
Because if it was a choice for me of Ange staying or Paratici coming back,
yeah,
I'd have to choose. It sounds crazy, but it's just,
Yeah, if you're picking one or the other, I would probably pick Paratici as well, because I think that it's our recruitment that has let us down.
Yeah.
And the problem we had was that we had lots of players, but they were all unproven players, and we had to throw them in. We had to throw Archie, Lucas, all of them in the deep end. We were trying to drag Mikey into the games, and God knows. I mean,
but that shows how well they've done to get to this final, doesn't it? To be fair,
yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's still a good cup as far as I'm concerned. But my view is, I don't know if you was on the last one when I said this. You can, like I suggested last time, in 1991, that was a typical example of Spurs stumbling to an FA Cup win. We stumbled to that because of Gaza, all the way through with Gaza. I know he'd done the silly thing in the final. You can stumble your way to winning the cup. And I think that 75% of the teams in this Europa League, I'm not trying to downgrade it, because for me, it's still the old UEFA Cup. You know what I mean? 75% of the teams in this competition are of the level where Ange has had success in the past. Whereas in the Premier League, I think he has been found out. That's my personal opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess it's a tough one, because the injuries kicked in early and got worse and worse and worse as we went. It's been a tough old season. It's been a tough old watch.
But the thing is, though, Si, when people's argument is, yeah, but when the players came back, they were still poor. If you're out for a couple of months, even 6 weeks, you're not going to come straight back into the team and be on it. I mean, a prime example of that is Udogie. He came back from his injury, didn't he? And he was rubbish last night. Brilliant. He's been the last 2 or 3 games. He's been the Udogie that we know.
And the problem is I think that earlier on, the issue we had was we were bringing people back when they weren't ready, and they were breaking down.
Yeah.
And so this time we've had to take our time with it. And I know basically Mickey's been a bit frustrated with it, but we've managed to nurse him through, and hopefully he will last through the final as well.
Let's hope so. It's a silly question for you. No, actually, before I come to that one, is I think we sort of touched on this. Is Kulusevski's form a concern, and would you play him in the final? Because he's looked out of sorts to me. He did again last night.
I mean, he just looks a bit lost at the moment. I don't know what's going on with him. And
he looked like he was running in glue last night.
I was just about to say, every time it was him and someone else running to chase the ball, he looked like he's going backwards.
It's weird, isn't it?
And I was just like, bloody, these guys aren't quick, but they're beating him to the ball every time. And I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's carrying something and we're trying to squeeze him in because Lucas is now done for the season. And it's kind of because he was playing a bit deeper. And it's just like.
And now Maddison's out. He got to fill that role as well. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I suppose tried and trusted. He's just going to whack him in there against United, isn't he? I suppose.
But yeah, it's been frustrating because
he really frustrated.
For the first 4 months of the season, he was head and shoulders the best player we had.
Yeah. Then he looked knackered.
And but we just it looks like we burnt the lad out.
He burned him out.
And now he just can't find his way back.
Well, this is the silly question. I don't know if you're superstitious at all, but should Spurs push to wear their lucky green kit in the final? It seems to be a lucky kit, don't it?
Well, I mean, we seem to do all right in it.
It's a weird one. I know, but a lot of footballers are suspicious, aren't they? Not suspicious. Superstitious.
Well, it is one for you. Who was Division 1 champions last time we won the UEFA Cup?
Division 1 champ. What the old top division?
Yeah.
1984. So that would have been. Oh, that's a quiz question, isn't it? I'd have to guess and say it wasn't Everton that year, was it?
Give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. The one this year as well.
Liverpool. Was it Liverpool?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, last time we won European trophy, Liverpool were league champions. How about that?
Could be an omen, so I like that. I like that one. We're clinging on to it.
I'm happy to grab onto anything at this point. You know what it is like with this team. It's the hope that kills you.
It is, but I can still remember that 84 game.
Oh yeah, I remember because I remember my mum came. It was half time, and my mum made me turn my TV off, and I had to do this thing. I had to go, and the TV had a knob. You had to, and it clicked. So I had to cough and click it at the same time to turn my TV back on. So I watched it like with the quietest sound, and I still remember Tony Parks saving the penalty and just.
Do you know what really makes me happy when I watch that? Because I actually watched it the other night. It's on YouTube, like a 15-minute thing. I think Spurs scored all their goals, and then young Danny Thomas came up to take his, and it was a good penalty to be fair, but he saved it. And as he was walking back to the halfway line, all the fans were singing "There's only one Danny Thomas." You wouldn't get that now. They'd be slating him, trying to hang him and everything. But it was nice. That was proper loud. Do you know what I mean? I felt so sorry for him because he must have been proper young to step up and take that penalty. He was a good player, he was.
Yeah, back then, staying up to watch us win the UEFA, and little did I know what pain this team was going to bring me.
Well, this is my argument where, before we go on to the next one, this is my argument, right? When people you probably get it as well. When's the last time you won a trophy? I said, listen, back in the day, my day, it was a more of an even playing field, wasn't it? Right? Let's go to the 80s. We won the Cup in 81. We won the Cup in 82. We won the Cup in 84. We were never really brilliant in the league. I think we was all right in 87 under Pleat. We were the nearly team then. But we was
don't talk to me about the Cup in 87 though.
I know. But we was a decent Cup team. You know, if you said any season starting in the 80s, who are you going to put a bet on for the FA Cup? A lot of people would have said Tottenham. It's not that time. What I'm saying is, my point is now it's not such an even playing field. It's really hard to win a cup.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, if you look at the last 10 years, it's like how many trophies were not won by City, and it's like say you look through the last
3 teams that have won them,
and most of the trophies were hoovered up by City. So it's just like, yeah, we didn't win a trophy in that 10 years, but who did? You get little freak things happen like Leicester winning the Premier League in 16 and all that sort of stuff. But generally, it's like one or two teams that are hoovering the whole lot up.
See, when we was in the Pochettino years, we were getting a lot of shit, a bit like them down the road now. Oh, you shit, you finish second, you shit, you finish third, or you shit, you finish fourth. But I've still got the old mentality from the old school in my head. If we finish in the top four, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to win a cup, but I'm quite happy with that. But
I mean,
if you don't win, you're shit, which is a bit
2016 was the best chance we were gonna have. We were up against Leicester.
Yeah, but we was never winning that race. And people said, "Oh, you come third in a 2 or 3." We was never winning that race. We was always playing catch up even then.
And it was just each week you think they've got to slip up. They've got to slip up at some point. And they just kept Ranieri had them grinding out results week after week.
I think it was when they beat us 1-0 at our place, wasn't it, that cemented it for them?
Pretty much.
And that's a rumour I can bring into it. That's the latest rumour that Vardy is. I can't see this because I thought he hated Tottenham, but he's quite happy to come to Tottenham and play second fiddle to Solanke.
The amount of shit he gives us, I can't.
That's what I mean. I can't see that at all. To be fair, I can't see that at all. No, because he hates Tottenham and Tottenham hate him.
But then he's shithousery. He does it to everyone, doesn't he?
I like people with shithousery. That's why I like Richarlison, even though he's not really that great. I love Romero because he's shithousery, because he goes in there, smashes someone to bits, starts a fight, then walks off. I love all that shithousery. I think you need players like that. Do you remember that player that was in Real Madrid? What's his name? Ramos. He's the kind of player that you all want in your team, but you absolutely hate when he's in the opposition. And I think you need players like that. I really do. And I'm happy that we're going into this final with players like Porro and Romero. See, because they showed how much they wanted it last night. I don't think we've had that before, to be fair. Players like that.
No.
For a while. You need those players.
The thing is like, we need to win it.
Yeah.
Because if we don't win it, we're not in Europe next season. And our transfer window this summer is going to stink to high heaven. If we've got Champions League football, that's a whole different ballgame. The people we can attract.
Especially if it's under Ange. Eh?
So yeah, we need it.
Well, if it's under Ange, apparently we've put in a thing to the FA saying, can we have 9 outfield players and play 2 in goal? Because if it's under Ange and we go Champions League, we get absolutely hammered, don't we?
I mean,
or is he learning? Is he learning to adapt? But he won't admit it. Like last night, he completely surprised me. I thought he was going to go all his usual thing, but he didn't.
I mean, I was pleased with how we played it last. We played it exactly how we should have played it.
He got his tactics.
It was a very professional performance.
Yeah. Moving on to Sunday, even though it doesn't mean anything to me anymore, probably not Spurs fans. I just wanted your opinion on this, because I just see this before I come on. You know, the group changed for Spurs. Well, they have to plan in advance their you remember the last one about a month ago, where they have to plan they have to give it to the police and all this rubbish. You know what I mean? You can't just turn up. And they've planned it for this. It's going ahead this Sunday against Palace. My question: should it have been cancelled to maintain the feel-good factor until the final? Because what good is it going to do, leading up to the final? Or they've planned it, they've just got to go ahead with it. I just think they could have cancelled it.
I can't see what good can come of it. I mean, yeah, you want to get your voice heard and blah, 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 but Levy isn't listening anyway. So all you can do by protesting this weekend is damage. There's no good that could come from it.
That's what I think. I do think that, because you'll be sitting there, the players. It's all right. They've come out. They've done a statement. I should have read it out really, but it's a bit long-winded. They've done a statement saying that we're always going to get behind the players, blah 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 blah. But the players ain't going to know that, and they're going to think, bloody hell, and probably Levy as well. Bloody hell, we've just got to the Uefa Cup final, and we're still getting this. I just think not cancelled it. That's probably the worst word to use. I think they should have postponed it. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, it's not going to do any good, is it? You want them, the morale, the fans are actually together probably for the first time this season. And I think they could have postponed it, couldn't they?
It's a really tough one because
all the planning that goes into that.
And look, this team has not been performing anywhere near the level that they should be performing, and that they're expected to. And to the amount that people have to pay to go in and watch it,
it's a lot.
And the shit that they've had to watch this season, you can understand why people are furious. The highest price tickets in the league and the lowest quality football in the league. It's like you can understand why there's a problem, but at this point, you kind of just feel like
let's just chill.
I don't know what good can come from it, to be honest.
I can understand it. I understand that. I think it came out the other day that ENIC themselves have put in 122 million since they've taken over out of their own money, which, to be honest, is a joke.
In 20 years.
Yeah, I understand their frustration, but I've got to admit, and this might quite surprise you, when I looked at the transfer fees and that, Levy's actually spent over £500 million. So for me, it's not his fault. It's whoever's been in charge of the recruitment.
And that's what I've said the last few times. It's the problem is the quality of the recruitment or the philosophy of the recruitment.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, and we bought. I mean, you go back to this past year, and so we bought Solanke, which we needed. Yeah. We bought Bergvall. We bought Archie. We bought Yang. And Yang still is out on loan doing his thing. Yeah. But you look at Archie and you look at Lucas and you think they weren't bad purchases.
No.
When was Brennan?
Well, Ange bought Brennan, didn't he? The start of his tenure, whatever you call it.
Yeah. But so you look at it, and we didn't buy bad players, but the problem was that we needed to improve the first team immediately. Yeah. And all we bought that was due to go directly into the first team was Dom. Everything else was for the future.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, yeah, we spent a shed load of money, but none of it was immediately usable. So it's just like it was all investments because that's how Levy works. Because he's looking at these players, he's thinking, I can make money off of him, I can make money off of him, and I can make money. So he's looking at it and he's got like, the player's going to get better, and I'm going to get some good football out of him, and then I'm going to make a profit on him later on.
See, the Brennan Johnson one, to me, I think I've said this before as well, was, let's just say that he was still at Celtic, right? He went out and spent the 50 million on Brennan Johnson and he played for Celtic. He'd probably have a massive impact up there. And I still say to this day that that's what he expected Johnson to do. Forget his goals, because apart from the goals, most Spurs fans agree he don't do nothing else. But he expected Brennan Johnson to have the same impact. And I still say that Ange has somewhat underestimated this league. I do think that, because at Celtic he got a lot of Asian players in, you know, and there was rumours that they were going to get them in at Tottenham, but they probably wouldn't have had the same thing. And I do think if he does stay, he will have to tweak and adjust, and hopefully it's hit him in the face this year. It's the toughest league in the world. You can't go and buy a player. Brendan Johnson is not worth 50 million quid.
No.
Where I'm coming from, though, I think he expected him to have the same kind of impact as if he would have had if he'd have signed him at Celtic.
Yeah, and look, I mean, he came off the back of a solid season at Forest, and so he had a bit of Premier League experience, but
they play totally different. They sit back, and on the break, he's good. But as an out-and-out winger, when you're in possession attacking, I'm not on about on the break. I'm just sort of normal. He's no good. How many times are we shouting, just take your man on? You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of learning to be done. I mean, I suppose I'd love to be a fly on the wall in these meetings, what they're going to have, you know, whether he wins the cup or not. Do you know what I mean? Because if he wins the cup, if this was a Disney film, you'd think, oh, give him another crack. Do you know what I mean? You'd want him to, because he just won the cup. But
and look,
the reality...
we need to get the price for Tell down because he's not worth
30 million. I'll pay.
And let's hope that we can get Odobert through a pre-season and see what he looks like going into a new season's fee.
Yeah, because I said on my last video, I think that was the one I've done on my own. Because I do get asked questions being sent into me. It's quite good. And one of the questions was, and I read out his stats. It was on my last video. And my response was, well, why does it have to be get Solomon back, get rid of Tell, keep Tell, sell Solomon? My answer was, well, why can't you have both? Get Solomon back, give him a pre-season, see how he gets on, and keep Tell. And if they're both good, because he is getting better, Tell, and as he goes along, you know what I mean?
Solomon, yeah, look, he's completely new league, young lad.
Yeah.
You can't expect it to happen overnight.
I just think, why is it always got to be one or the other? Why give them both a go? But I have heard rumours that he wants to stay at Leeds, but that's another thing.
Yeah, and I don't want to pay more than 30 for Tell at this point.
No. I think they will get it down because Bayern Munich have said they don't want him. But there's flashes there, and football fans can be arseholes, can't they? But if you look at it, like you just said, he's only, 19?
Yeah.
And look at Bergvall for the first 6 months, even though his coach or manager from where he come from said, give him 6 months. Everyone was like, he's no good. The 6 months went by, bang. Now we want him. He's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. I think they should either, if it was me being there, I'd say, look, can we have another 6 months loan? It's not going to do anyone any harm, is it? You don't want him, so let's, because we don't know.
We need to talk the price down, and I don't know how much Bayern still owe us for Kane, but I'm sure that they owe us a couple of very big instalments. So
yeah,
it's kind of like just play one off against the other.
Well, we're not. There's strong rumours now that Everton do want Richarlison back. Very strong rumours now. Even went on Sky, didn't it, the other day?
Yeah, you could have him back for half of what we paid for him.
But I've got a feeling we probably still owe him money on it because Spurs. No, but there's a lot of teams, didn't they? Spurs owe out about 275 million because they stagger payments over years, as do most Premiership clubs. So we'll probably say have him back and let us off the last 20 or something like that. It's a shame that it hasn't worked out because there's another one I like is Chalsbury, but he's just not good enough. He's got the worst first touch I've ever seen from a Brazilian.
Yeah, and he's kind of his football IQ seems a bit low, and he tries stupid things. I mean, if they were to come off, then great. But yeah. I mean, the lad's a Brazil international, so he's not a mug.
It's a shame because I like him. As I said, I love Chalsbury. He winds people up. I love that. But he's not going to get you the 25 goals a season, is he?
No, I mean, you get the ball, get crosses and get Porro, get crosses over, and they'll be able to get a few headed goals. But it just seems that his finishing with his feet is just not great. I remember seeing him years ago when he was at Watford at that stage. Yeah, and I was like, this lad looks decent.
He didn't do too bad at Everton. I think he's got like 60 goals in 150 games or something like that. You know what I mean? I suppose they played to his strengths more, but he's made a Weetabix as well, though, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else you'd like to add then, Si? I'll give a big shout out to Big John, and if you're sleeping still, John.
I mean, it's nice for us not to be the banter team for a few days, and
yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I mean, Gooners have been taking some absolute lethal stick this last couple of days.
It's a bad time, isn't it?
But the thing is like their manager doesn't make it any better for them.
He actually makes
talking this crap about we're the best team in the Champions League. You just got turned over in both legs by Paris. Don't disrespect the team that's just turned you over twice. You weren't the best team.
Nah.
You weren't the best team. You can't get turned over twice over both legs and be the best team. And you got to face into the fact that you didn't buy a striker this year. You didn't buy a striker last year. You didn't buy a striker the year before. Everyone knows what the problem is, and you still haven't solved it. So
I've said that to all my Arsenal mates. I said it kills me to say it, but if you got a striker, you could have won one, maybe two trophies this year, maybe last year. But this was the best chance you were going to have because Liverpool haven't been fantastic.
So he's like, right, we were the best team in the Champions League. No, you weren't. And he's like, the amount of points we've got this season, we'd have won the league the last 2 years. No, you fucking wouldn't, because you were the teams that won the league still got more points than you then.
Yeah.
So if you've got more points, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. You still had less points last year. You're capable of getting this number of points, but you didn't. So you didn't win the league. So you can't claim some weird moral victory.
That's why I want to win this even more, so just so to rub salt in the wound. Yeah, I mean,
I think one year Liverpool came second with something like 97 points or something.
It is what it is.
So you don't hear Klopp saying, "Well, we'd have won every Premier League ever other than this one with 97 points." Yeah, no one talks that shit. You just get on with it.
Who's that? 5:41 a.m. Good morning. Well, my mate texted me last night actually, so he's a good mate of mine, Dale, and he said, "It's only a tin pot cup anyway." I said, "But you still couldn't win it. You didn't get to the final of it. It's not a tin pot cup. The Champions League for me is European Cup. The Europa League is the UEFA Cup. The Wooden Spoon Cup, the Conference League, I'm not even interested in that. And I'm not just saying this, so if we was in that, I wouldn't even watch it. If we got to the final, I'd watch it. I think that is an embarrassment, to be honest.
I mean, we were embarrassingly bad when we were in it.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, it is embarrassing to even be in it, isn't it?
We were in it, and we were embarrassingly bad.
What's that? Peter, what have you got to say on last night? Oh, hello, mate. All right? Night Glow. I ain't seen you on here for a while, mate. Everyone's coming on now, Simon, as we're finished. I hope you're all happy out there. Even in Australia, I bet he's an Ange fan. Can we win the final? Yes. We can win the final, mate. Bloody it's up early, isn't it? 5:41. No, I ain't got much.
I mean, we've already proved 3 times this season we can beat United, but
it's in the bag. I think that's what he means. It was in the bag. But it's in the bag. I think he meant it's in the bag. Yeah, it was a good performance. Professional last night. It was a professional performance last night. I am Spurs fan first, mate. Yeah, 100%. It don't matter who's in charge, does it? It matters about the team. I do quite like Ange. I actually would like him to. I would like him to win it. It would make me laugh actually if he did win it and just go. It would. Yeah.
I mean, the crap he's taken this season.
What's that? European. My eyes are bad. European Cup Winners' Cup turned into a league. Oh yeah, remember the European Cup Winners' Cup? Yeah, that was still a good cup, though, wasn't it? This conference thing, I'm not interested. I'm not just saying that. I'm just not interested, mate.
So it is an interesting one. Have you seen the last couple of days? People all piping up now.
Like Richard Keys.
About how the winner of the Europa shouldn't get automatic Champions League, and it's weird how pretty much everyone who's saying it is ex-Arsenal.
Yeah. There is definitely.
It's funny that it's United, Spurs, and it's like all of a sudden this automatic Champions League spot is a really bad thing. But it's never been a bad thing in previous seasons. But funnily enough, now it's United and Spurs.
Oh, no one said it when Seville kept winning it.
So does that mean that England will have 6 teams in the Champions League next season?
Sorry?
Does that mean that England will have 6 teams in the Champions League next season?
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Because remember when we finished 4th and Chelsea won it and they stole our place?
We didn't get it. Yeah.
So that doesn't happen anymore, no?
It's really complicated. I was reading it the other day because I couldn't understand it. But yeah, it was so many complicated permutations that comes to 6. Because I know 5th's up then, but they're 6th now. But I don't know. What would have happened. I don't know. It's weird. Well, it could have ended up with 7, couldn't you? If an English team would have won the Champions League. So the Champions League's not even in Champions League. But the way I look at it is, you know the rules at the start. That's it. Because I also disagree with the playoff, Simon. Because if you end third on 80 points and then you end sixth on 60 points, you could still go up. I think that's wrong, but it might be wrong. Okay, but you know the rules at the start of the season. We've won European Cups, yeah. I mean, this is a big cup for me because I'm old school. I still remember the 1984 UEFA Cup, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the UEFA Cup. People are always trying to do it down because it's Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I didn't take the notice, mate. I mean, it's Arsene Wenger as well. I was watching that interview. Richard Keys is a bell end. Yeah. It's just suddenly piped up out of nowhere, though, and when Spurs get to the final, it never come up before.
No.
Did it? Do you know what I mean? It
No,
doesn't matter what your league form is, it's a cup. Isn't it? It doesn't matter. Everyone keeps saying Man United do well because they keep digging out cups, but they've been shit for ages. But they do keep winning cups. No one
had a problem with it until they saw who was in the final.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's got nothing to do with your league, is it, Simon? This is the point I make. It's got nothing to do with it. If they change it, they probably will change it now, you know. It would not surprise me if they change it at all. But it's to add an incentive to the Europa League, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you go for that. It's a bonus of winning it, to be fair. But we do need to invest if we do win it. Do you know what I mean? We do, because we can't go in with that.
You can't afford not to and go in the Champions League. We'll get embarrassed.
We will get embarrassed because I would have stuck with Ten Hag. Oh dear. To be honest with you, mate, I'm not a Man United fan, and I don't want to swear, but Ten Hag has fucked Manchester United right up. And I don't blame. Is it Amorim? You pronounce his name? I know a lot of fans want it out now, but it's not his fault. He's going to need at least 2 to 3 years because
the problem is it's not even Ten Hag's fault. It started to decline while Ferguson was still there, and it's been declining ever since.
But they let Ten Hag spend money on shit, didn't they? He completely fucked that club massively. You've got to give that. They want someone to come in. They feel entitled. Manchester United now have gone back to how they were when we was young, Simon. Sorry, mate, I haven't been well. High blood pressure. I'm sorry to hear that, my old son. Well, maybe don't watch the Europa League final.
I was going to say it's not a good thing to be a Spurs fan with high blood pressure.
Daniel causes 99% of it. Yeah, you might be right there, mate. I don't know with Levy, man. But apparently the rumours are he's going to take more of a back seat, which a lot of us have been saying for ages. He's a fantastic businessman, fantastic for the business. But he needs to leave the thing.
He's brought a CEO in now, so that's kind of signals the intent to take a step back.
Yeah. Because I ain't going to knock the man for his business acumen, but as a football man, he's useless, to be honest, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting because this Venka, whatever his name is, he used to be the CEO of Arsenal.
Yeah. He done a good job for them as well. It's a shame that... The thing is, I agree with that, Peter. I do 1,000,000% agree with that. But as I said to Simon earlier, he has backed Ange, but whoever's been in charge of the recruitment, it's been poor. Which is why we're so happy. We was discussing on him, me and Simon, that we're very happy that Paratici is coming back because the recruitment under him was a lot better. He doesn't want to pay high wage. Well, he's going to have to, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? They've got money. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to know how much Bergval's on now. He signed that 6-year deal. He deserved that, but I'd like to know how much money he's on because it never did come out, did it? He signed a 6-year deal, didn't he, Simon? But it never did come out how much.
Yes, he's here till 2030, or contracted till 2031 now, isn't he?
Yeah. But that's another scenario where it doesn't mean he's going to stay there. It just means, everyone, is that all he was on? It just means that if someone wants to come and buy him, they're going to have to pay a lot of money to buy him out of the contract.
Yeah, it looks like he's been moved up to 65 a week.
65? They're not the highest payers, are they? He wasted 800 million on Deadwood. Yeah. Yeah, he wasted 800 million on Deadwood signings. He's a terrible businessman. When I said he's a good businessman, I'm on about the infrastructure of the club and the money what he's bringing in. He's just too tight to spend it on players. He won't go out and buy someone for 120 million, will he? Like the next Maradona. He'd probably try and knock them down to 50 million and pay that in instalments. That's the problem we've got, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I was herking. You know when that Conor Ben fight was on the other day. So that Turkey, whatever his name is, the Saudi Arabian mush. He said this is the best stadium it's the best I've ever seen. And all the Spurs fans are going, buy us, buy us, buy us. That'd be good. But I don't think it matters now if you're being taken over by a billionaire, does it? Because you can't go out and spend the money unless you're getting it in from, you've got to be getting it in through revenues. Solanke's 65 million, but it's on 90 grand a week. Is that all he's on? Jesus Christ. That's not a lot for your number one striker, is it? I know the highest earner is Sonny at the moment and on 200. But I think he might be on the way out, I think. It'd be nice to see it'd be nice to see Sonny just say we're winning it. Let him come on for the last 10 minutes so he can say he got a trophy with us. That'd be nice to see him and lift a trophy. You know what I mean, Si? I know he's on a downward slope. He's been properly.
I mean, look,
he's been
the best servant to this club over the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, Harry Kane won his first thing. So is he going to come back now? In January, we can get him back for 54 million, apparently. Yeah, he's using us to pay for the stadium. We're not. Yeah, you're on. Oh, he's got all the deals here. Look, Romero 165, Manners 165, 165 grand a week for Matters. Yeah. Is that all Van der Ven's on? Ah, he get paid wise, wouldn't he? That's bad, isn't it? I'm liking this, man. 50 grand. God. I'm surprised no one's going to come in for him, but I don't think Mickey will go. I don't think he'll go, and I think he might get it paid. Well, he can't really haggle for a pay rise, Mickey, because he's been injured a lot, ain't he? You know what I mean? But I think Romero's worth. It's really interesting. What do you reckon then, you two lads on here? If Romero wins the thing and gets into the Champions League, will he stay? I don't know if he will or not. I think he'd have to have meetings, wouldn't he?
I mean, I think he's keen to play in Spain.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I like Romero, it's a shame. And I think Madders, he's flattered to see, but he's another victim of the system, and he gets injured a lot as well. A few of the Leicester people were saying that to me when we signed him, actually. He'll be all right for a while, then he'll get injured, then he'll take ages to come back, then he'll get injured again. And that's what he's done for us this season, isn't it?
Yeah, that's mad. We've only got 5 players who are on over 100 grand a week.
Is that all?
Yep. Son, Madders, Romero, Werner, and
he's gone missing, ain't he? Because everyone was saying it last couple of weeks. He's gone missing, Werner. I don't know if he's gone back. I think if he gets, he might stay if he thinks, yeah. I think so, yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, he'll have them meetings. Who are you going to buy? Yeah, I don't know. Anyone know where Werner's gone? He gone home, hasn't he? Because he hasn't even been seen about the place.
No, I mean, he's more than welcome to go back, to be fair.
Yeah, so I have some more there, look. 50 grand hotel, Liverpool. Look at that, Simon, look. Yeah. See, it's all about the dough. It's all about the peas, as the youngsters say. Isn't it? See, I don't know how they afford it. I don't know how they afford it. I really don't. He's going to have to break the wage structure, isn't he? £4 grand a week. Taylor Bergvall on 60 to 70 grand a week. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Gray as well, Simon, next year, because he hasn't been. I feel a bit sorry for him because he's had a couple of goes in the central midfield, but he seemed like a duck out of water because he hadn't really had a chance to play in it. He needs a few games, doesn't he? In there. Now Bergvall's been the total opposite. Bergvall's my favourite player at the moment.
I mean, he's done a great job since coming in, hasn't he?
Yeah. We'll have to. What was that? Maddison as our best player. That doesn't always bring success. Look at Arsenal. Yeah. It's about the money. That doesn't bring success. Maddison is a good player, but I think he's, in my opinion, he's just a victim of the system. To be fair, I think when our wing backs or fullbacks don't invert, I think he's all right. He gets more space, don't he? Werner has gone to the sausage factory. Well, I know that Werner was on 175 grand a week. How mental is that?
Yeah.
How did he even get that money?
But I think that we only pay half of it, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But they don't want him back. He's stolen a living, isn't he? He's stolen a living. I would keep Ange till next year, but think he will walk. What, you think he'll walk if he wins it? Yeah, he might. If he hasn't got assurances. Mind you, saying that, he came out, and this is what I said to Simon just before you lot come on. He has underestimated this league, and he said all along, I don't need superstars. I just need players that understand the way I want to play. He's on 5 million a year, so will he walk? I don't know. But do you know what, though? I will say, what's that? Yeah. I will say about Ange that even the people that don't like him, over the last couple of days, 48 hours, he's proper stuck up for Tottenham, saying there's a narrative and blah, blah, blah. Isn't he? Have you seen the interview, Si? He's actually, fair play to him, coming out and saying all this. Werner, what a shame. Maddison averages a goal or an assist every other game, but he's surrounded by low-end product players. Well, we are crying out for a striker, aren't we? I mean, I love Solanke, but he's not going to get you 25 goals. It would be good if we got a... Because rumours are that Arsenal are after that geezer, and my pronunciations are poor, so bear with me. Is it Coys?
I mean,
Arsenal
he's like literally the most lethal striker in Europe at the moment, isn't he? I think he's probably put too much on his price tag for him to be able to afford it. That said, they paid 100 for Rice, so you never know.
That's what I mean. They will go out and buy it. They'll say, we'll buy him. I'll tell you what is interesting, Si, yeah? And this is another debate. Real Madrid what's this? Ange's law, but don't try and piss on his back. Yeah. Romero going to Atletico Madrid, right? And apparently Real Madrid wants Saliba. And I reckon, in my opinion, 1,000,000%, that they would miss Saliba a lot more than we'd miss Morero. And if they lost Saliba, it would make me chuckle, to be honest with you. Because he is a good defender, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, him and Gabriel are a decent partnership, aren't they?
Yeah. Johnson is an inside. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said to Simon earlier, it's like Johnson at Forest. They even do it now. They're a counter-attacking team, and he's brilliant on the counter-attack. He is. He's not made as an out-and-out winger, is he? He was really good for Forest. Gorka, there you go. Gorka, yes, is going to Arsenal for. I mean, that's good money in it for him.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get him for that price, then that's an amazing deal.
Danzo, yeah, I said that. I like Danzo. He's played well. He has played well. He looked a bit dodgy when he came back after his injury, but.
And that's the thing. You got to remember that we've got.
I can't pronounce that geezer's name. That's the one that Danny always goes on about. Is it Velocity?
Yeah, Vuskovic.
That's him.
You got Vuskovic and you got Phillips both coming back.
Well, if that's the case, then put Danzo in there, and spend the 60 million you get for Romero, for argument's sake, somewhere else. But they don't do that, do they? They're going to have to, aren't they? What about Bergvall, lads? As I said, Bergvall's my favourite player. I think he is an old-fashioned, typical Spurs flair player. He's beefed himself up. He's strong. I'm absolutely gutted for him that he's going to be out. Well, there was rumours today and yesterday that he could still make the final, but to be honest, you can't have an injury and then come back for the final, can you?
Give him a couple of years and he could be our Dembele replacement.
Great technical, but I mean, I saw the clips of him when we'd signed him because he stayed there for another year, didn't he? And I thought, bloody hell, he's good. But I thought, can he do it over here? He certainly can. I'd love him to stay at Tottenham. He'll be a good player. Yeah, he's 19, isn't he? Well, I think it'll be Bergvall and Gray. Not Berg. Yeah, Bergvall and Gray is the future for us. I'm hoping anyway. Then Bentancur stays because Atletico Madrid want Bergvall as well, don't they? Yeah. I can't see him going though, because isn't he negotiating a contract at the moment, Bentancur? And we have stood by him, haven't we, through his injury? I'd be quite gutted if he went.
Yeah, same.
Great go, guys. I was really bored. Well, I'm glad we cheer you up, and I hope you get better, mate. But make sure you got them tablets ready for that game, and because God, mate, you'll be going for the roof, man. I don't have too much sex.
I mean, the good thing about last night was it was a fairly easy Spurs performance on the old blood pressure last night, really, wasn't it?
That's what I said to someone. I was sitting back like that. I was just relaxing. I haven't been like that. Well, I can't even remember. I said to Harry, my boy, I was watching it. I thought he was brilliant. Easy. What's this? These pre-season games, Bergvall and Gray and Young Moore show. See, this is what I said last night. I would have liked to see, even in the final, I wouldn't give a shit. I would like to see Moore playing behind Solanke when Kulu's been so off form. It is really worrying me. And I don't think you can carry a player in a at least Moore has a go at players. But I think he will go with Kulu because it's tried and tested. And what do I know? He'll probably turn up and he'll have a blinder. But he just looks absolutely knackered and like he's running in glue to me at the minute. He was shit again last night. Even I don't want to slag off anything about last night, but he did look poor last night to me. And he's like, something's not right there. What's that? Anything else you want to add, guys? Are you off,
I think that's pretty much me.
Okay, mate. Thanks for coming on. I'll stay with these kind boys for a little while longer, and then I'll say bon voyage. Have a good weekend.
Shalom, gentlemen.
Alice. Bonjour, man. See you later. What's this one? Keep your technical. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. I think Bentancur, like Simon said, he's coming back to his. He was everywhere last night, wasn't he? All over the pitch, breaking up play, intercepting. 1 minute he's there. I don't know how he does it. I'll tell you, lads, I watched all the pre-season games over and over just to watch what these kids do on the ball. And that, yeah. Pre-season games are hard to judge, aren't they? They're really hard to judge. But yeah, you can pick up snippets and that. But as I said, I don't know. Bergvall's manager or coach at the club we got him from said, give him 6 months and then you'll see. Yeah, I just want to see Mikey Moore up there for the United game because I am really worried about Kulu's. Hopefully he'll get it back. Hopefully he'll get it back before the final. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. But I'm also hoping that we don't play the high line and we play as we did last night. I read out these stats earlier. I don't know if you heard these, guys. I've got them on here. And this sort of sticks up for Ange. When the back five have played, this includes Bentancur, when they've all played together, they've won 19, drawn 2, lost 3. That's a win rate of 79%. I mean, that's mental, isn't it? So maybe it is a case of just getting those boys fit. They're hard, yeah. Yeah, Bentancur's quality. Yeah. So it just shows, if you can get all them players fit and don't play such a high line. I mean, I don't mind a high line, but I think you just got to drop back 5 or 10 yards, depending who you're against. And I think we'll be all right. Because they made Bodo Glimt last night play most of their attacking play in front of us, didn't they? And I thought that was good. And I did give praise to, but I thought they all played well, but I thought Bentancur, Romero, and Porro are outstanding. I'll be gutted if Porro goes because rumours are that he might be going. I'll be absolutely gutted. I love Porro. I love his enthusiasm. Him and Romero last night were pumping chests and all this. I like seeing that. I don't want him to go. I also like the young black kid that's got. Yeah. That's the release. Yeah. He'll be ready in about a year. Just let him keep. Hopefully, we'll have a good season next year, Peter, and then you can bring him in, can't you? You can bring him in. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be bringing on young players when the team is struggling. See, I don't think we're getting enough credit for getting through to this Europa League final because we've done it with especially the league phase, we've done it with our reserve team. So even though Man United are saying, "Oh, we deserve to win it because we're the only team that hasn't lost in the competition yet," okay, fair enough. But we've hardly had our full team out there for the whole competition. Anything else you want to add, lads, before I shoot off here? What's that one? Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a big old mush, isn't he, for a youngster? You know what I mean? And I said, I don't know what you lot think, I said in the final, I would want to see Tell and Odebear start. We're much more of a threat. I know they don't always beat their man, but at least they have a go, don't they? You know what I mean? Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, at least they have a go. Yeah. Did you both see that pitch last night? It resembled a badly laid carpet, didn't it? You wouldn't get away with that over here, I'll tell you that. They wouldn't let you play on it. All right, boys, I'm going to shoot off. Thanks for coming on. And I didn't give a lot of notice tonight because I didn't actually think I was going to do it, but I'll give a lot more notice. I'll try and give it a couple of days' notice. I do appreciate it because you're very loyal to me on here, and I do appreciate it. The channel's growing slowly. Do you know what I mean? Rome weren't built in a day, but I do appreciate you coming on and having a chat. It's good. So take care. Stay in good health. Come on, you Spurs.